Hola a todos y bienvenidos a Chorre Aventuras de Black Cloud. Continuamos con The Invincible, el Invencible, el animal.
This mission drags on so much. Sometimes I think you're going to take off without me, sir.
Don't count on it, Doctor. I'm not going anywhere.
Falta la contestación del capitán diciendo, pues eso, lo que acaba de decir. Los títulos de no pienso irme a ningún lado. Pero bueno, como decíamos, seguimos con el Invencible, una historia de ciencia ficción en la que estamos en un planeta llamado AX3, donde hay una estructura no natural. Nuestros compañeros de misión pues se han visto intensamente afectados por algo del planeta que ha provocado pues
My legs feel really heavy.
Give yourself a moment to rest, Doctor. You certainly deserve it.
dos de ellos hayan perdido la cabeza y la tercera haya muerto. Estamos buscando al último miembro de la expedición. Pues eso es un cráter.
Time seems to be slipping through my fingers like sand. So much sand.
You sound tired, Yasna.
Because I am tired, Astrogator. Whilst traversing this planet, I'm becoming more and more convinced that what I know is not the same as what exists. What can exist.
I must admit it's an interesting thought. And quite disturbing.
I have a feeling we're in the dark. We have to find a way.
Agreed. You should move on.
That's not quite what I meant. But yeah, I probably should. When you admire a beautiful view, an hour seems like a minute. But a minute on a hot stove will seem longer than an hour.
Does Regis 3 feel like a hot stove?
Sometimes. I heard that the difference between past, present, and future is nothing but a persistent illusion.
That's a quote, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure why it came to mind.
Según esto, por aquí hay un camino. Vale.
I'm leaving the excavation site. How did he come down?
Vale, el principal problema no es tanto cómo bajar, sino cómo volver luego a subir.
I've got Gorsky's signal.
So soon? It's unlikely to be him.
Then who?
Not who, but
You were correct, sir. It's just our probe. It looks inactive.
can't be completely broken if you picked up a signal. I'd say it's running in safe mode. Please try to power it on.
Do we have time for this?
It's for a good reason, Doctor. The probe could prove useful in the search. And besides, you'll see.
Okay. I'm opening the probe. Turning the systems on.
No, stop. Wait for my instructions. There's a button on the left side of the fuse box. Hold it, and then turn the dial again. And go ahead.
Slide records?
Correct.
I didn't know we had access to them.
You couldn't have known. This is not standard procedure. But as they say, extremis malice, extrema remedia.
Ah. Con esto podemos ver hacia dónde puede haber ido.
Let's take a look.
Formato cómic, mola, me gusta. Me gusta el estilo del juego, me gusta.
A photo of the first days on the surface. They started exploring the littoral zone almost immediately.
They reported as much. Wasn't until the fourth day the comms failed.
Vale.
I recognize these structures. This is where they began to dig.
Empiezan a excavar. Siguen excavando. ¿Y qué? ¿No hay nada más? Vale, como son diapositivas.
12 hours passed. 3 crew members are still there. Dr. Gorsky must have left already.
We lost contact shortly thereafter.
¿Detector?
The probe followed him, and he followed the detector's readings.
Going after those metal structures.
Yes, that's what I meant.
What's next?
Desaparece.
Last slide. There's mostly noise.
Nothing in particular stands out to you, Doctor. They were digging and suddenly, poof, people are dead?
No need to shout, Astrogator. I'm just letting you know what I see. That's all. Hang on. An absurdly high electromagnetic field reading.
That's something. Sort of. What are the earlier readings?
Checking. Still high in the slide just before. And earlier, quite normal.
Electromagnetismo 0. 0. 1. 0. 0. Empieza a excavar. 0. 3. 4.
It happened in a matter of seconds. But there's nothing except dunes. Sand, a few rocks, a shadow,
Shadow.
another sandstorm, I guess.
All right, Doctor. Let's move on. You may turn on the fuses now. We'll take the probe with us. got it on my radar. Now I can give commands to the probe. And? What do you see? Is it working correctly?
If you run it on manual steering, sir, then it works just fine.
That's exactly what I'm doing. You have a keen eye. I'll put it in auto mode. From now on, it will follow you, Doctor.
Oh, it'd be nice to have some company. I mean, apart from yours, sir.
1 second. That's odd. There's no data in the probe's memory. No ID, no nothing. Do you want to give it a new ID? Name it, basically. After all, it'll be with you for a while. So, what's it going to be?
Huh. A name for the teleprobe. All right. I can think of something.
Copy that. I'm listening.
Val-I, nah.
Please enter Luna. L-U-N-A.
Done. Now, a few more tweaks, and you'll have a flying measurement center at your disposal.
Vale, como... Bajo.
I don't see these metal structures anywhere. The detector's measurement is very clear. I'm going straight on.
No crossroads? Branches?
Not yet. Just one thick, tangled vein.
Vale. Estuvo siguiendo esto, así que nosotros seguiremos también esto.
Huh. I guess I found the first point.
You guess? We have to be sure, Doctor.
Well, I'm at the first clear branching of these structures, such as reported by Dr. Gorsky.
All right. What happened next?
He followed the branch to the right.
Vale, estamos en este punto. Sea la sonda.
The probe detected something.
I see that in the readings. What is it exactly?
Well, the structure from the notes, it fits the description perfectly. Well done, Luna. I knew I could count on you.
Well, we didn't bring it to the surface for no reason. Even in the first stage procedure.
And now I'm going to apply for my own.
As soon as you find Dr. Gorsky, I'll see to it myself. All right. How about that point? What does it look like?
The next point, the third one, is a metal bundle running along the bottom of some water reservoir.
Interesting. An object as such should be easy to locate. What caught the doctor's attention?
Looks sort of like scaffolding set up underground. Inside the ground, actually.
An unusual structure shape?
Definitely.
Do you think someone actually built it?
Well, it's a far-fetched theory, but it seems so.
No sé si podría hacer que aterrice más cerca de nosotros, porque volver después de todo esto va a ser complicado. Lo siento, señor Tareo, cuando me pongo nervioso. Masa de agua.
was mentioned in the notes, around the 3rd point. And I have a matching object here.
Right. So how many are left?
2 points. Or at least that's what he told Koval. What he did next?
Dentro de la colina a 150 metros.
It's hard to assess.
Well, the battery in the detector lasts for only a few hours, so he couldn't have gone much further.
The 4th point is a structure that fills a rock massive, on top of which he found surface structures.
Sounds like a crucial node in this whole system.
Gotcha. I found his tracks. Finally, some tangible evidence that he was going this way.
Good. And it's downhill all the way, Doctor.
Hay un fuego.
So short, Astrogator. The next point is at a height of approximately 100 meters. I think we have the 4th point.
Sí.
I confirm. It's the 4th one. I see our flag. Definitely uphill. I think I'll catch up with Dr. Gorsky on the other side.
Well, that wouldn't be such a bad scenario, right?
Of course not. Though I wouldn't mind if we bumped into each other before the climb.
Vale. Dar un rodeo. Recordemos que no ha bebido nada ni comido nada. Aunque...
Hey, Luna.
¿Por qué me golpeas? Pese a que podría haberlo hecho cuando estaba en el campamento. Sobre todo beber. Regla número 3.
Three, two, one.
The land is departing.
Yes, they're on their way. Thank you for your assistance. Without your help, it would have taken much longer.
What's the plan for the 2nd flight? The same place?
That would work best. Certain, proven. When you and Dr. Gorsky come back, I'll send the lander right away.
I've reached the top. The doctor discovered something new from here. Something he called bushes.
Huh. I've heard that term before.
In their conversations between Koval and Gorsky.
No, Jasna. You're the one who reported it to me. Right after you landed.
Seriously? Well, I don't see anything like it now, sir. Wait. Koval noted down the parameters. Azimuth 350. Distance 200 meters.
Copy that. I'm sending the probe.
That's it. I see the bushes.
And the doctor?
Hard to tell. Visibility is poor. It's gonna be harder than before. I don't know how the doctor...
When it comes to finding a safe route, there won't be a problem. But you'll have to get there on your own 2 feet.
I suppose the probe will carry out the first task. It's capable yet?
Of course. I set the environment analysis mode. The probe will calculate the best route between your location and your destination.
Perfecto.
It will guide you along the defined path. The calculations will only take a moment.
Perfecto. Nuestro propio sonda maps. Hola.
Hi, Luna. Lead the way. I must say, it's a clever device, this probe of ours. Hey, can it fly for this long?
Yes. Longer than you can stand on your feet.
Sounds like the perfect research unit. Maybe even better than a human.
Well, let's not exaggerate.
I don't know. For me, it's only a matter of time before machines surpass their creators. The only question is when.
Bueno, curiosamente, el siguiente juego al que voy a jugar va a ser el de Robocop. Y tengo por ahí uno de Terminator. ¿Esta es la mejor ruta? ¿En serio?
Oh, we have a problem.
Something serious?
Huh. Maybe it's true that machines will surpass us. But not today. The route determined by the algorithm goes over a chasm.
I can repeat the command.
No. I'll go around.
Unfortunately, this is an outdated model. Such mistakes are inevitable. But the perception module itself has already been greatly improved. Its accuracy increases exponentially.
Exponentially? Can you imagine us, proteinaceous creatures, developing so quickly, sir?
No, not in the course of evolution. You can't perfect a person like that.
That's right, you can't. We wait thousands of years for visible changes.
Oh, have you started to fear for your position?
Maybe they can be improved rapidly, but these are only selected modules. Algorithms. There's still a long way to go to develop an artificial brain that would even slightly reflect the complexity of the human one.
Yes, we probably won't live to see that.
Probably not. Besides, no intelligent machine would take this job. Shh. Astrogator, can you hear that?
What am I supposed to be hearing?
That's the point. Nothing. Silence. We're talking about robots, and Dr. Gorsky still hasn't spoken on the channel.
Well, I don't know. He must be a long way from here.
Oh, estoy hablando en Baba Yaga.
Dr. Gorsky, are you here somewhere?
Vale, estas plantas me dan mal rollo.
These bushes are kind of weird.
You better stay away, Doctor. I'd like a brief description. Just keep a distance.
Allow me to use the language I would use to describe living forms, sir.
Of course.
So they look like pituitary, brush-like formations. They can be singular, though in some locations they create a uniform thicket that covers the walls of the ravine in a rusty brush-like layer. They grow out of cracks in the bare rock. They're high, more or less, from 1 to several meters. That's how it looks, to put it briefly.
Would you also venture to guess their significance? Some function, purpose?
Staying on the topic of biological analogies, these bushes remind me of corals, in a purely visual category, because they're far from marine organisms. So I would guess that these are colonial structures, perhaps rock-forming ones. However, their main structure has nothing to do with corals. No noticeable mesenchymal tissues, no nidocyst, matocyst, or spirocyst. No visible oral discs.
Yeah, all right, Doctor. I did ask for a marine biology lecture.
Astrogator, Gorsky's not here. I'm afraid he continued to explore. And if he went where I think he did, he might have lost contact with the camp as well as Dragonfly.
So we will most likely lose contact too.
Possibly. Well, there's only one way to be certain. It's your decision, sir.
Please continue your search. We have to find him.
That's the unwritten rule, isn't it? Under no circumstances do we leave anyone behind.
That's right, Doctor. You can lose everything else, but you have to have the crew on board. The living and the dead. This is one of the most crucial imperatives, even though it's not in the regulations.
Pues antes ponía en duda.
The line's breaking up, but I understood. I'll let you know, sir, when I come out of the tunnel.
Altitude 24,000. Speed 250.
Vale. Eso es cuando tomamos tierra. Así que tenemos que llegar a donde nos quedamos inconscientes al dejar la cuerda.
Already at 12,000. Throttle down. 30 seconds till touchdown. Everything's looking good. Over.
Roger that.
Altitude 5,000. Ignition 10%. I record data dropout, but otherwise still looking good. Entering final descent.
Copy. Entering final. Hopper has landed. I repeat, Hopper has landed. Astrogator, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Any side effects? Landing wasn't too hard on you?
All good. Spine still in one piece. No signs of overstrain. Not even shortness of breath.
Perfect. Hopefully the hike to camp goes just as smoothly.
Pues va a ser que no. O tal vez sí, y esto sea una... ¿Hola?
I'm going outside.
Visibility?
100%. The dust has already settled. I've located the second lander. Our people are still on this planet.
Ah, very good. I was afraid they might try to fly off, which wouldn't be the best idea given the loss of communication with Dragonfly.
O sea que no sabíais que estaba aquí esta sonda. Podría haber aterrizado encima de la sonda. Y entonces haber muerto y haber destruido los dos
Sir,
transportes.
What is it?
the hatch is half open. Did they report hydraulics failure?
How should I know? You were the last person in contact with the crew, Doctor.
Right.
Revisa. Ah, sube.
I'm inside.
And? How is it?
Even if they wanted to, they couldn't go back to Dragonfly. Their lander looks damaged, to put it mildly. Or more accurately, it seems like a storm has passed through it.
Understood. I mean, I don't understand how it happened. But that means...
Hopper is the only vehicle that can take us home. Affirmative.
Right. Well, then we can't afford another mistake. I'm taking the lander into orbit. I'll send it directly to the camp as soon as we find a suitable landing zone.
Quemaduras, básicamente.
We've gotten out of worse than this. Equipment breaks from time to time, that's normal. But now,
Go ahead. What's bothering you?
this lack of communication. It takes too long. Especially considering there's a cyberneticist amongst them.
Yes, it worries me too.
Ah, aquí fue donde pescaron.
Whoa. Damn. You were right, Cobble. It's beautiful here. I have an object in sight.
¿Ah, sí? Ah, sí.
This is where they searched the ocean's biocenosis.
Meaning... Oh, where they caught that fish, right?
Yeah. They stopped here first, then walked along the coastline northward.
Correct. But I think you might consider taking a shortcut towards the east, straight to the camp.
Copy that. Heading east.
No sigamos sus pasos, sino que vayamos al destino.
They stopped for a break.
How do you know? Are there any signs of the crew?
I found a cigarette butt and a pack. Someone was smoking here,
So, they didn't give a damn about the regulations.
disrupting the ecosystem.
That's not the point. I understand you want to minimize the effects of our interference here, Doctor, but the mission's safety is at stake. I don't think I have to explain to you the dangers of igniting a dusty atmosphere. Preserving the integrity of Regis 3's already extinct ecosystem is not a priority in this scenario. Negligible, actually.
Security procedures exist for humans. The rule of integrity is for the sake of everything alien to us. Excuse my interruption, sir. Can you please confirm that I'm on the correct route?
Yes, I confirm. This rate will reach the camp within an hour. So, continuing.
We shouldn't place one above the other.
What are you saying, Yasta? The mission and the safety of our people have the highest priority. Always.
Oh.
Always? Are we really that self-righteous?
Of course, Doctor. We must be the most important to ourselves. And they must be the most important to themselves. Whoever they will be. In the end, the strongest will survive. Isn't that how evolution works?
Not in a biological sense, Astrogator. This route may be faster, but it's not the easiest. Anyway, back to the conversation.
Oh, me gusta, me gusta.
Besides, I'm not convinced if we should interfere with everything alien to us just because we can.
Doctor, interference is at the heart of human
Sí.
nature. Man would still be a monkey if he'd only looked at trees instead of cutting them down.
Yes, we have a nasty nature. That.
Me gusta eso de que cuando llegamos a un punto en el que corta la discusión, luego la retoma. La pega es que no lo haga siempre, pero me gusta que hagan el esfuerzo. Deberían tenerlo todos los juegos. No, estamos hablando y se interrumpe por algo. Bla 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 bla. Oh, me están atacando. Bien, como estábamos diciendo antes, retomando la conversación. Eso me gusta, es un buen detalle. Me gusta. Vale, ¿dónde estoy y a dónde quiero ir? Debo ir hacia acá. Podría explorar, pero es más divertido pensar que tiene urgencia. Mira, los arbustos. Los arbustos de los cuales se olvidó. Parecen palmeras.
Astrogator, I found a peculiar inorganic structure. It looks like some spiky metal growths.
Artificial plants? Is spontaneous growth possible with this type of structure?
I've never seen anything like this. I wish I had time to run some tests.
When the situation is stabilized, we will take samples. I promise.
I feel nauseous. Suddenly. That's not it. I feel darkness. Hello.
Vale. ¿Son las plantas? Pero ¿cómo es posible cuando... tiene la escafandra y todo? Y tengo que pasar por aquí. Genial. No, no puedo pasar por aquí. Vale. Así que no llegamos a la cuerda.
Are you there? Over. I guess that's a no. Is everything all right?
Yes, yes, all good. But we're already in the infirmary on life support. You found them in time.
Menos a Marit.
How about their reactions? Have they regained consciousness? I mean, maybe one of them said something.
Unfortunately, they're still unresponsive. I'll let you know if anything changes. I'm doing an EEG on them right now.
Guess I know where Gorsky was going. I confirm, Gorsky was here. His rope is still hanging from the slope.
That's a good sign. Since he left it, he intends to come back this way.
But why hasn't he yet?
Vale.
Going down after him. Tell me one more thing. When it comes to Marit, are you going to use a grave tapper?
Yes, I am considering that as a possibility. And what is your opinion? Should we look into our brain? Just a report.
One sec. Oh, I'm at the end of the rope.
Isn't that good?
Not at all.
What do you mean?
I'm stuck. I'm hanging with all my weight on the rope, away from the wall. There's still a fair few meters left to the ground.
Can you go back?
Using just my hands, strapped with all this extra weight? No, not a chance.
Péndulo.
You swing.
I can just jump off.
Is that safe?
No.
A substantial fall on unsteady ground. This is hardly a maneuver that I would describe as safe.
So let's take a moment to analyze the situation.
I'm thinking, if Gorsky went down this way and didn't break anything...
Yeah, we don't know that, Yasna. He could keep going even with injuries.
Ha.
Alright, so do you have another idea? Oh, will I be hanging like this until the end of time itself?
There is a certain possibility, or rather uncertain, but maybe it's worth trying.
I'm listening.
Can you see the probe?
Yes. It's flying near me.
Good. If I instructed it to fly as close as possible to you, you could grab onto it.
You sure it will hold me?
No.
I cannot guarantee.
Pero puedo frenar.
Alright, let's give it a try.
I'm entering the instruction. You must guide me.
One meter forward. It's still too far.
I'll try 1 more meter then. Is the maneuver complete?
You could say so. I fell from a lower height. It was a soft landing, though.
No detecta como roca. No como metal. Es un fallo. Es un fallo. ¡Wow! Mola.
We had our last contact with Regis a few minutes after noon. Even then, Dr. Gorsky was walking alone. Communications blew up shortly before he got here. He didn't take a tent. Anyway, what's the idea of doing it alone?
This place is amazing. It's all made up of these structures. Except they don't look like creations of nature anymore.
Maybe that's why Dr. Gorsky, not to mention the Alliance.
Well, if we're looking for something on this planet, this could be it. These structures form entire multi-story complexes. They look like a city.
Are you saying that...
No. There's no point in jumping to conclusions yet. Left or right? Dr. Gorsky set up the flags.
Sir, he kept going, despite the lack of communication with the rest.
Are you receiving a signal?
What signal?
From Dr. Gorsky.
No. Why are you asking?
He tried to open up a connection, set up a transmitter.
There's nothing on the comms, but I'll check the record history. Please give me a moment.
All right. I'll squeeze through the passage.
2 more hours.
Huh?
That's all Gorsky has left of oxygen, at best.
And at worst?
He's just finishing it up, though it all depends on his activity.
Unfortunately, I can't go any faster.
Of course. I should have kept it to myself.
No, did the right thing, sir. I prefer to have a full overview of the situation. I should keep going.
Let's move on.
Le perdemos. Le perdemos. Bueno, pues vamos a dejarlo aquí por hoy. Esta ha sido la Charlie Aventuras de Glasgow y esto ha sido muy,
How's
muy...
the terrain? Those structures, are they still everywhere?
Yep, wherever I look, there's metal.
Oh sí, todo es metal.
Ah, I see the probe. Has it found anything?
It's not making any measurements at the moment.
Oh, why?
The overload protection is activated. Until I do a reset, it's on manual control.
Is it because of my flight?
It's possible, but please don't worry about it. What matters is that you're fine.
All right, sir. I see you have it under control. Good luck.
Yes, thank you.
It's a bit like Pando.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A colony of populous tremoloids. American aspen. The new trees grow not from seeds, but from rootsuckers of old trees. As a result, it's one giant organism, thousands of years old.
So you're in a dead metal forest.
Huh, that does sound bizarre. Though maybe.
Doctor, something has been recorded after all. But there are plenty of errors in the transmission header. It's hard to say whether this is a message from Gorsky.
Just a second. If there's some errors, maybe a thunderstorm was coming this way. These structures would act as huge conductors.
Doctor, this isn't the moment to speculate about atmospheric conditions.
But I'm not... Never mind. Just play it, please. If I get caught in a storm, then we'll talk.
Gorsky to base. I repeat, this is Gorsky. Base, come in. No doubt, it's him. Now let's keep listening. But as soon as you report anything, Doctor, I'll stop the recording. Bugger. No confirmation again. I report. I've made an amazing discovery. Geometric structures that... a thicket of bushy, pointed rods and slats. Mostly iron, but not only. Molybdenum, carbon, tungsten. All together similar to a giant integrated circuit. A million swarm of tangled cables. Not a trace of electric current, polarity, not even residual magnetism. Maybe once upon a time, centuries ago, petawatts or exawatts of power flowed this way. To compare with something, it's probably a machine. Some kind of information collective structure. Maybe it was some kind of electronic brain. It makes me think of the Lyrans, a race of extinct sentient beings. Supposedly, they knew about light astrogation before we invented the wheel. They had to save themselves from the explosion of Nova. They sent ships. The remains of those ships have been found, ashed to a chip glued together. I've seen hypothetical schematics. The structures here remind me of those. Okay, moving on. Readings. Well, that's it. What follows is just a humming noise. Any thoughts, Doctor?
So far, it all leads to one conclusion. This is not a place for a man. Nor for any humanoids.
Then who is it for?
Maybe it's really an alien technology. Those Lyrans.
As far as I know, all information about the Lyran civilization is just guesswork. Many consider Lyrans to be just a myth, so I wouldn't take it too seriously.
Well, I think there might be something to it.
A mí me recuerda a nanobots autorreplicantes. Pero bueno, ya veremos qué es. Vamos a dejarlo aquí por hoy. Esto ha sido Chorri Aventuras de Nazgûl y esto ha sido The Invincible, que se está acercando poco a poco hacia nosotros. Y son hostiles, son nuestros enemigos. Así que nada, hasta la próxima. Adiós.